And there we go. Should be alive once again. And this time around I shouldn't have forgotten to press any buttons and set any settings. I hope. No, everything seems okay. So yeah. This week we'll be playing some battleships. In the hopes to get at least a bit closer to getting Colorado. Hello there, sample. So without further ado, we'll just jump right into it. Just gonna be working on my American 6.7s, mainly Texas, as I believe it's the closest to being done. It's actually close to Arizona. But I kind of want to work on Texas first, as it is in some way the worst of the 6.7s that I still have to spade. Yeah, Colorado was added to this update, I believe. I still have to make a summary video, and it is being worked on, I can tell you that much. But yeah, Colorado is from this update. It's just one of those, it's the last American ship I still have to get. I recently finished their coastal tree, so it's just something I have to do. And an amazing start with a conquest map. Small match as well, up there to 7-0, but that was to be expected.
Bosun, bring us to general quarters. Engines, flank speed.
That's an AI, but that was to be expected. Gonna look around. Okay, a Rodney, that is not a great thing to see.
Target identified.
And just some more cruisers. Which of the AI gunners?
Target identified.
They're not going to hit anything in this range. Colorado, Warspite were the two big battleships. What else was there? There were 2 destroyers and a handful of coastals. I believe there were no other. Yeah, just 2 destroyers, 2 3.7 destroyers, 1 for Italy, 1 for Japan. Then there was Colorado for America, Warspite for Britain, and a handful of coastals. I don't think there was anything else. Quite a few new French coastal vessels, which are quite fun. But either way, we've got the next major update soon-ish around the corner. So I just want to get ready for that mainly. It's a player. Hello there, Kenneth.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Doing just fine at the moment. First match of the battleships. For tonight at least. That's a sinking cruiser. So most just an assist for me. I'm not going to shoot enemy 6.0 cruiser in this matchmaking. Got a kill for that, lovely. A few AI battleships, more cruisers, some dreadnoughts, a Mogami, but it's an AI one, so it's not the biggest threat. The Rodney is definitely the scariest thing out there at the moment. But other than that, we should be fine.
Left standard rudder. Left standard rudder. Aye, aye. Target identified.
Didn't really want to shoot at that enemy 6.0 cruiser because that's just a bit cruel. I've been playing through this Russian 6As recently as well, and they're not great.
Battleship.
Of course, if it shoots me, I'll shoot back. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
Light cruiser. Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water. Target
AI Nevada. Oh no, that's actually a player Nevada, okay. I've seen a few AI ones, so it's just under assumption it was an AI one. Let's see what that salvo does. Looking alright. Looking very alright. A bit too far forward, maybe. A bit low.
Hold right over.
Just a few AA guns, but it's fine. Let's do that again. So this closing up slightly, so a little bit of underway. We'll see what happens. Still too much lead. Should be leading only one blip. Get to the turrets. Yeah, just one. Duilio is taking a bit of a beating next to me. Nevada's turning in. Bit of a problem for my gunnery. It's now less than a blip to get to his front guns. Let's wait one more update. There it is. Less than a blip. These might miss.
Engine.
Yep, those aren't gonna miss. He's slowing down.
Direct hit.
We're going to slow down as well because we don't want to get really deep into this camp.
Rudder.
It seems like that guy's actually gone stationary. He has.
All stop.
Back to being roughly a blip for grenade guns. If he's stationary, I can go stationary as well and just shoot directly at him. Let's do that and see what happens.
We are hit. Target identified. Heavy.
Or is it
cruiser.
rolled me over there?
140. 9,000 meters. Target identified.
Undamaged. Okay, not great.
140. 11,000 meters. Target identified.
Is Maryland a different class?
080. 9,000 meters.
And then it's still just a... I think Maryland is a 14-inch class, isn't it? Kinda doubt we'll get another 14-inch anytime soon. Let's get moving again. Because if Nevada's now on the move. And he's slowing down. Oh god, he's got speed juke all my shots, isn't he? Yeah, never mind.
Light cruiser.
We'll angle in towards him and just deal with the enemies in the cap. Are they in the cap?
8,000 meters.
Barely.
Target identified. Battleship. Contact started. 080. 8,000 meters. Left. Hard. Rudder. Full left over. Aye, aye. Steady as she goes. Holding course. Aye, aye. We are hit. Engine. All stop.
Yeah, that Nevada's going to be a pain now. I keep overleading all of my targets for some reason. Let's try and go for front turrets. Just one a bit. There we go. No full magazine detonation, but a ready room detonation, that's for sure. Yes and no. So you couldn't spam them with HE beforehand anyways. But fires in the ammo elevator is definitely still lethal. Because again, the only thing they did was fix a bug where the secondary ammo elevators could detonate the main magazine. So German battleships still blow up every single time you hit their ammo elevator. The American ones luckily don't seem to be having that much of a problem with it, but I take a massively reduced ammo load as well. That Nevada is going to be a thorn in my side, and I already know it. Yeah, there goes that. I'm gonna eat my words now, am I, with my rear magazine being detonated? Come on.
Damage control. Repair parts, secure and pump out water. Attack the enemy. We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning. Damage control. Repair parties, confine and remove water. On target.
3 shatters, okay, lovely. 9-kilometer range, what is my armor pen?
Damage control. Repair parties.
Not great against angle targets. There's not much point in repairing that rear turret because all of its ammunition got lost. So I'm just not going to repair it. Speeding up. Probably just to juke me again. And I'm still way over leading. Although that one doesn't seem too bad lead-wise. Not that a gun barrel. It doesn't reset. Oh, good point. For damaged ammo elevator it could reset the reload, but I don't have a secondary ammo pipe. Also, exploiting bugs can get you banned, and I'm not going to do that on live stream. I don't know how to deal with this Nevada properly. Also, I'm just not turning in as much as I'm thinking I am.
The enemy is winning. We must counterattack.
Pick up some speed and actually angle in as much as we can, at least. Because if multiple repairs happen at once, they debuff each other, and flooding is usually never severe enough to actually kill me before the time I can get to it manually. And I don't want repairs to be manual either, because it'll just get me crew killed. Only repair what is necessary to repair. fires are way more important to put out quickly, so that's why that is on automatic and nothing else is. So I'm going to suffer from this Nevada, I already know it. Should really focus on other targets. Rodney got taken down. It's a shame that the Texas has such terrible gun angles. Can't get all my guns to bear, and I don't really know what blew up there, because I could swear the Sheldon was already detonated. But okay. Roughly 2 blips to get the ammunition on that ship.
Repair parties to station. Left hard rudder. Left hard rudder. Aye aye.
And they were low. Okay.
Steady as she goes.
I love seeing all the AIs getting outside of the capture point, not inside of it. Always great. Yeah, the Nevada's going to keep shooting me.
All hands, we have been critically damaged. Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water.
Duilio is like barely still in the cap.
Enemy is floundering.
2 forward, 2 rear to actually get any ammo.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearer. 7,000 meters. All hands, we have been critically
Because they're not doing anything, Cringe. You keep asking me every single time I play battleships why I'm not using the secondaries, because they don't do anything. That's why.
We're holed below the waterline. Damage control.
They're not going to damage enemy battleships in a meaningful manner, and the American ones are bad enough that they probably won't damage cruisers either.
060. 7,000 meters.
Damage control. Repair parties seal the breach.
Okay, this one from barrels.
Direct hit.
Decent hits, but the coal bunkers absorb the most of it.
We have been critically damaged.
Target identified.
I-
Battle cruiser.
First of all, I don't care about the cell, and second of all, the things that they can catch on fire don't do meaningful damage. A secondary, like an anti-air gun being on fire, doesn't do anything. It doesn't spread to nearby modules, and it doesn't damage crew nearly as much as it could.
The enemy is winning. We've got to counterattack.
Let's try and get a bit of damage in on this guy. Maybe actually repair that
Turn to emergency
barrel.
repair.
All hands, we have been critically damaged. Enemy hit.
One pen and one non-pen, and the pen seems to have just gone right through without really doing much.
Steady as she goes. Holding course. Aye aye.
That is a fire internally. That is not the ones to press.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water.
Oh, that's a that's a middle ammo elevator. Somehow got the kill on the Wonderton,
Battleship.
and I will not complain about that.
6,000 meters.
Turn to emergency repair.
All hands, we have been critically damaged.
Engine.
Third fire is not going to spread too much.
Right. Standard rudder.
That is fire from a player.
Repair parties secure
Lovely.
and pump out water. Target identified.
Repairs again.
Cruiser.
Contact bearer. 120. 6,000 meters.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Comes out in time at least.
7,000 meters.
Right. Hard. Rudder.
All hands, we have been critically damaged.
Repair parties to stations.
Okay, that's the annoying part. There's a command angle in towards Nevada and that
Target
guy at the same
identified.
time.
Battle cruiser.
And this thing is on the old standard hull, so people can just penetrate straight through it, even with 11-inch guns.
Target identified. Battleship.
So I've lost my frontmost gun turret now as well. And because Texas is an absolute brick that I don't have spade, I cannot get it to maneuver either. Let's see if we can at least return some fire. Nope. Goes clean through the bow. And that is why bow tanking doesn't work. So let's spawn somewhere else entirely. Arizona next. Because I don't want to deal with Nevada up north.
Target identified.
Carriers.
Carrier.
That's a player in a thingamajig. What is it called again? Queen Mary?
Target
On his
identified.
AI.
Heavy cruiser.
Garmy should be as well.
Target identified.
Gonna wait for the rear guns to get on target.
060. 10,000 meters.
We've only lost one player, we've also only lost one player, that'd be me. It's a shame we lost so many tickets. Just because our AI didn't get into the gap. And still doesn't. By the time the rear turrets are on target, that salvo will have already landed, so why not?
Brother.
Okay, let's slow it down a bit. Is he actually in the gap? He isn't.
Correct, hit!
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
Yeah, having to wait for August for our next ship event is going to be a bit rough. Oh well. That's a good hit. Somehow I didn't get the kill, okay.
We are hit!
I want to just get under the cap. We should be fine. I don't care about skill stealing because rewards are damage based anyways. So I don't really care if a bot steals a kill or not.
Ocean.
It is a bit annoying when you set something on fire and then the bot gets that. Especially when you set something on fire close to the magazine, so any second you'll get a magazine explosion. But nope, didn't get that kill. I'm a little bit worried about what the aircraft is they're shooting at. That looks single engine to me. Couldn't quite tell what it is though.
Right. Standard rudder.
I suspect it was American. That is twin engine. Looks like a bow fighter. It is. Bold choice.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
100. 8,000 meters.
This is in him out of the match as well, actually. Good.
Left standard
At least for
rudder.
us.
Short. Light cruiser.
into the Tone. It's the AI Fargo. You shall be my next target.
Enemy hit.
Kaiser, where do you shoot a Kaiser gun? I think the middle turrets might be a good bet with 14-inch guns. So you just hit it right in the middle. Maybe just... There we go, good hits.
We are hit.
Firing the elevator as well, there goes an explosion.
Oh.
Not fatal though.
Engine, all ahead.
Flooding quite rapidly. I think Colorado has super heavy AP, I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look at it again. He's still alive. What? No, let's do that anyways. And put a few secondary hits into the Tone.
On target.
Or never mind, the Alaska can finish him off.
Engine,
Good hit against that Kaiser. More turrets burning. There goes another shell room detonation.
Target destroyed.
And there it goes.
We are hit.
pull left over.
Left hard rudder. Aye aye.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course. Aye aye.
Not Alaska has finished him off there, but okay.
Enemy hit.
We're winning.
Will I actually get another salvo off before this match ends? Who knows?
On target. We are hit. Direct hit. Direct hit.
Bit of a high hit. That's salvo. But that'll be a match. Not the worst I've done, but I could certainly have done better. Will the salvo land? Pretty alright, really. Ah, too high again.
We are hit.
We won. Time for shore leave.
But yeah, otherwise pretty alright. Still a fair chunk of RP, luckily. I think I still have my daily bonuses as well, don't I? A few of them. But yeah, I need to get mobility upgrades for my taxes as well at some point. But on to the next one. And hopefully it won't be an open ocean single cat map again. And it's an open ocean single cat map again. I don't have AP yet for those 5-inch guns, okay. Uh, 'cause, 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 ' Okay, Phoenix on my team and then a Navy guy. Phoenix feeling brave and joining me to Texas.
Captain has the con. Engines flank speed.
Congo is a bit scary. A Helena is meh. Yeah, the Congo will be our primary target.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact there. 1-0.
The Alaskan's kind of scary as well, and a lot easier to kill. I don't think at this range I'll be able to reliably hit the Alaska's turrets, so we'll soften up the Congo instead, once all turrets are in place. And let's try that. Let's see what hits. Already a good midsection hit, I think, from Phoenix. And it seems I've got the attention of the Helena.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Should be fine though. At worst will be a lot of AA loss.
Enemy hit!
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact ferry!
Congo is suffering quite a bit. I might just have to swap over to the Helena actually, just to put it down. Reloaded one of my cannon barrels.
Damage control. Repair
Let's
parts.
wait enough fire extinguishing to be done. It's flooding and he's not repairing his flooding. Which is a bit odd. But nothing I'll complain about.
Damage control. Repair parts.
I don't have the repair book because I don't have joint active matches on. Again, just it's not even there. It's an option, isn't it? This one, apparently, this triggers the repair book. So just if you don't have it on, you don't have the repair book. Period. I don't know if it's actually fixed or not. Also, I missed the Helena. Full speed ahead.
Engines.
Look up.
Flank speed.
We are hit!
There we go. Helena going down.
Target identified.
Back to the Congo.
Battleship.
Contact ferry! 100! 10,000 meters!
Engines. All stop.
There we go. Congo down. On to the Alaska.
Contact ferry! 100!
Let's
10,000
repair
meters!
that main gun as
Turn to
well.
emergency
So let's
repair.
actually wait
Standard rudder.
for this salvo. And we'll extend our reload timer even longer. And now we repair. Yeah. I don't think I've ever actually used the join ongoing battles, no matter what game would I play.
Enemy hit!
I get the feeling all my shells just impacted the Hiroshima again. Which is a bit of a shame. And then the caps, let's slow
Right.
down.
Standard rudder.
A bit too close. The Helena left. Good, I won't get HE spammed to death. Alaska is going slightly towards me. Just a little bit under reading, let's see what happens. Never mind, teammate will just knock it out.
Battleship.
100!
Bit of a shame I didn't get any good hits in, so I didn't get an assist.
Identified. Battleship.
That's obviously short anyways.
40,000 meters. On target.
Target
So it's,
identified.
aha, we have got Hiroshima.
Contact bearing. 080. 12,000 meters.
Target identified.
On it, that's
Heavy
9.
cruiser.
Contact bearing. 080. 11,000 meters.
We're ahead of the enemy.
Something shooting me again.
We are hit.
What do we have out there? That's an AI.
Light cruiser.
So that. That.
080.
There are 4 enemy players. Okay, that is
Light cruiser.
Iron Duke.
080. 40,000 meters.
Or some British battleship at least.
Target identified.
That's a Nevada.
Contact bearing. 060.
They got no hits on that.
30,000 meters.
Dude.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing.
Yeah, Iron Core definitely is one of the more experienced Iron Navy guys.
Standard rudder.
So I'm not too worried, and Phoenix knows what he's doing as well. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm here, so that's something, I guess. I'm just not great at these kind of long-range fights.
Direct
That's
hit.
hit.
Battleship.
Exactly.
080.
Although you could question whether or not the American 14-inch ships are any fun,
Condition 1.
but fun
Left
enough.
standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
A little more effort, and the will be ours.
I'm going to get a little bit closer to the enemy though. Just so I can get my own shots on target.
Identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 080.
That's going to be the premium Wyoming, isn't it?
Direct hit.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
It's not even 35, it's 43
30,000 meters.
or 42 that my current reload is.
Target identified. Battleship.
I think it goes from 50 something to 40, I believe, depending on your crew skill. Yep, 42 seconds. I mean, it's not that bad. 42 seconds is a lot longer. But the problem I find is if you start having to do repairs, or if your ammo elevator gets knocked out, that extends your reload by a lot. Especially on these ships. I think a knocked out ammo elevator is 10% increase. So that goes from 42 to 46. Then if you have to repair at the same time, that pushes that to 52 or longer.
We are hit.
And if your magazine is flooded, that doubles your reload, so fun times. Colorado has the same reload. I have seen a few Colorados, not that many, and those guns seem to pack a real good punch.
Enemy hit.
But it's the same reload, so meh. Yeah, I've heard that it is indeed not accurate, but it is what it is. I've heard a couple of times as well that you use reloads as balancing factors more than anything.
Surely be ours.
So that's a bit, yeah, bit of a shame. Does make me question why, if reloads are a balancing factor, why the Mutzes have a 23-second reload, but oh well. Or is it 26?
On target.
It's 26, isn't it?
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
We're got a Tennessee of us as well. Lovely.
Target identified.
Let's switch to this Wyoming that's gotten comfortably close. It's an enemy Orion, that's right.
Hold right over.
Right hard rudder. Aye, aye.
Eh.
Long.
Repair parties to station.
We are
Really shouldn't be repairing the AA, but it doesn't really matter. We don't lose that much crew anymore. Where is the midpoint of the ship? It is 6 ellipse long. So that is the midpoint. Turrets are 1 3/4. So 1 3/4 lead. Aim down. And we see what happens. Looking good.
target on.
We got to fire close. We're a bit low though. We did get a fire into the right spot.
Engine 2/3.
Let's keep the pressure on.
Let's actually shift fire to the rear turrets
Standard rudder. Aye, aye.
once we reload. Though it seems he already has a fire going in the rear turrets as well. So we want the middle turrets. So just a little bit behind center mass. Those might be going high. Should be alright. Yeah, they were high.
Hit.
Still knocked out a turret, I think.
Right. Standard rudder. Engine. All stop.
Set another fire. Didn't get an assist on that Westfall, even though I shot it pretty... Well, that's okay. Fine by me. It is now... Okay, there goes the detonation in the middle of him. Almost 8 across, 2 blips to head center mass. There we go. He's slowing down significantly due to flooding, I imagine. There we go, good hits, right where I want them. Lock of fire detonates one of his shell rooms. Do we have anything scary out in the field? We've got the Orion closing in.
Battleship.
But other than that,
060.
there's Nevada, but he seems distracted.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact.
I think I actually want to shoot just
060.
right for his engine on this Arkansas.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Our next salvo will be against the... I keep forgetting what the name is. And of course, there goes the Arkansas.
Direct hit.
The Orion, that's it. You can't really detonate an Orion, so I'm not going to go for that. But he is angled. The Orion doesn't have... Oh, I don't remember if Orion actually has decent armor or not. 5 kilometers away. We should be able to go through it. That was a good hit from something. Fine.
Eddie Yoshiko.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
Speaking of I Navy, I've been invited to something of theirs, and I'm curious to see how that's going to turn out. But that's for one of the
Right.
that's something for one of the following Sundays, apparently.
Hard rudder. Aye, aye.
But I'm curious to see what it's going
Target
to be.
identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 040. 7,000 meters.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing.
Hiroshima is still out and about.
7,000 meters.
more minority assist.
Right. Standard rudder.
Where's it, Kirishima?
Standard rudder. Aye, aye. We are hit.
Okay,
And victory will be
oh,
ours.
I saw.
Left standard rudder.
I saw him earlier.
Standard rudder. Aye, aye.
There he
Target
is.
identified. Battleship.
Contact bearer. 120. 9,000 meters.
Engines. All stop.
And this should be a pretty decent victory.
Enemy
The
hit.
shells weren't exactly where I wanted them. Not quite deep enough to actually detonate them. Maybe we'll get one more salvo off if we're lucky.
We are hit.
Yep, that one should still be able to land. Before the game ends, hopefully.
Long. Short.
And
Enemy hit.
something. And that's the end of this match, practically. Never reload in time before I get the next shot off. I think that's slightly the annoying part about these American 14-inch ships,
Job, men.
is you have to choose whether or not it's actually worth shooting something. Like, if you see a low health battleship, is it worth it to shoot myself at it if somebody else might shoot it and just kill him, and then sit there for 40-something seconds? Okay, there's a decal, and we will accept that. Good. HE spam detonations shouldn't be a thing. How much happy did I get that last match? Yeah. Definitely could have been better. But we've got plenty of time. Yeah, the Dreadnought going back down to 6-0 is a very, very weird move. Incredibly questionable one. Especially since they did it at the same time where they changed shell ballistics to be less effective at long range. Because I would actually say that before this update, 6.0 heavy cruisers actually stood a bit of a chance against some of the earlier 6.3 dreadnoughts. But the problem is they practically nerfed all shell penetration, especially at long range, and made the shell impacts at a steeper angle. So that's no longer really true. Just a very, very weird maneuver to change the BRs of dreadnoughts at the same time as introducing new damage stuff and shell ballistic changes. Yeah, I can't really retort that. I am really, really curious if the tinfoil conspiracy about next update is actually true or not. Because I just cannot imagine us getting the last generation battleships this next update. Just gonna be wild. It's also part of the reason why I am trying to finish off some of my tech trees again. It's just to prepare for whatever next update can bring. So, this... I'm going to get the forum post again. So, what Gaijin has done semi-recently is they make these quarterly, like, CM cover disclosures where they say what they're working on and what they've been doing. And in the most recent one, which was April 30th, so a little more than 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago, they said that they are working on some powerful ships to be released in 2025, as the next major update will be bringing in some superior, iconic, big, vast, not fast, and yottabyte ships. So, the thing is, these adjectives, yottabyte is a real weird one. And it's that one, Scott, exactly. So, because the adjective yottabyte is in there, specifically because it starts with a Y, people have thought that all of the adjectives are actually ships, and that those ships that Scout has put in the chat are the ones they're going to add next update, which I don't think is true. But if it is, it's going to be a spicy update. But I genuinely, I think the only reason why people are tinfoiling that is because of the word yottabyte, and just, yeah, I think it's just the word yottabyte. It's such a weird adjective for size of ship that people have thought that they must all be ship names. Which, it's fun. It's fun to think that, but I don't see it happening. It could happen, but I just don't. So that's also one of the reasons why I'm very excited for the quote-unquote upcoming devblock season. It may be. It's weird. That's more reasonable, Phoenix. Like the early, like the South Dakotas and the actual European 15-inch ships like this update, sure. And definitely Yamato and Iowa for later in the year. But at the same time, nothing's stopping them from adding them this update. It's just weird. I think I'm going to blow a gasket though if they're going to add those ships. If they are going to add those exact ships. All at 7.0. Ooh. And you can see it happening. You can just see it happening, but it's, I don't know. I'm really curious for the next update because of that little tinfoil conspiracy. I mean, yeah, Phoenix, but at the same time, have you seen what's actually present in War Thunder Mobile? I think they've got Belknap class missile cruisers. They've got plenty of missile frigates and destroyers. They've got missile submarines for as far as I know as well. It's just, I wouldn't take what is in War Thunder Mobile as, you know, applicable to the PC game. They're developed by completely different dev teams from what I know. So it's just, yeah. One being present in one game shouldn't be... But yes, but no, they're not the same quality models. That's something I would definitely argue, is that they're not the same quality models. Are they? There's a mult in there as well, jeez. I recently actually thought of trying to play some more War Thunder Mobile Nails, but I just can't. It is... especially on an actual phone, it is just undoable. At least for my phone. I just don't really like the 5v5 single spawn way it works, and then the fact you can repair lost crew, and then, I don't know, it's weird. Just absolutely not my thing. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think it actually works on BlueStacks. At least I haven't tried it recently. But I've never gotten it to work. As a... oh, what's the word for it? On an emulator, that's it. I've never gotten it to work. One thing I have noticed though recently when booting up Earth and Mobile again is that I actually put all the ships in tech trees now. In nation-based tech trees. Which is a bit of a, yeah, an interesting move. Also, geez, this queue time is taking a while. I'll just leave that open. Which high explosive shells are you referring to there? Because you're talking about battleship high explosive shells of like 60 to 80 kilograms of TNT. They'll do a decent number on cruiser superstructures. And maybe punch a big hole in them if you hit them in the hull. Ah, yeah, the Iron Duke. That's the 6-7. But yeah, no, HE shells are not the thing you want to bring on that thing. You want to bring the AP shells. Maybe even SAP. It's just that the HE isn't a... In War Thunder isn't really a viable way to sink battleships, for sure. And even cruisers aren't really all that susceptible to HE. Yeah, same thing, Scout. I just haven't tried it either. Yeah, there's 80 kilograms of TNT does sound impressive, but when ships have 12 inches of belt armor, you know, 300 millimeters, 30 centimeters, that doesn't do anything. Okay, let's actually look at this HE shell, right? So this thing has a maximum penetration of 161 millimeters of pen. And it will always detonate on the surface of a ship. Of course, it's a lot lower TNT equivalent. The Iron Duke will have a lot more. But it will never go through a main belt of a battleship. It will go through the belt of cruisers, but because it detonates on the surface, the fragments can't actually go deep enough to do meaningful damage. So that's why it doesn't do much. Down here? Question mark? I believe that thing is still pretty bad. The, oh, what's it called? But yeah, the Italian 15-inch Caracciolo. I think. Yeah, that's still terrible. And with the HE, not the HE, the penetration nerf that all ships got because of the ballistics changes, even worse. It is definitely one of the ships I'm least looking forward to spading. But it does look like we've got a down tier. Well, that's good luck for me, if the Navy guy actually left. Because that's one battleship player less, because he's definitely playing Russian 6-7s. Anything else out here? I see a battleship over there. Oh yeah, Mutsu is definitely very solid. I need to give Amagi an actual proper try. I haven't played Amagi yet. I unlocked it by spading Mutsu and then never touched it. That's good, good target. I need to look at the Caracciolo again. I haven't looked at it since it got released because I don't have that ship yet. As a player, so I'm going to be feeling a little bit guilty about itself if it kills him, but oh well.
Target identified.
That's also a player.
Cruiser.
Contact bearer. 280. 9,000 meters.
Let's shoot the
Target
destroyer instead.
identified. Destroyer.
Contact bearer. 280. 8,000 meters.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearer. 280. 9,000 meters.
Yeah, I know. But having the 2 extra guns, and the other day I was also playing American 6-7 to get in the mood for him, and I saw an Amagi at like 12-kilometer range, and I just could not deal with it. It was also an angled one. He just sat out there and spawned,
On
just
target.
absolutely bullying me from 12-kilometer range. That's why I think with the ballistics changes, getting something like the Colorado is going to be very nice to play, because those 16-inch guns just a lot more punch.
Long.
It should be a dead Moffat, if my shells don't all miss. If my shells don't all miss, I said.
Right. Standard rudder.
Right standard rudder.
Turret's knocked out.
Enemies floundering.
Target
No longer a worry.
identified. Light cruiser.
Oh, it's below cruise threshold, so that's why it's no longer a worry.
9,000 meters.
And there goes Phoenix doing all the kills, but
Destroyer.
I'm fine with it.
Contact bearer. 280.
I'm farming cruisers this much anyways.
Attack the enemy!
Sure thing, I'm gonna shoot somebody else. Because I'm not that worried about London.
On target.
Our victory is near.
That, somebody from my squadron. We were really lucky the Navy guy actually didn't join this match. Probably fed up of the open cap maps. There seem to be a lot of enemies in the capture point though. It seems the London actually wants the British heavy cruiser. Wants me to fight him. So I'll just oblige.
Left standard rudder.
Let's see where
On target.
Princess Salva lands. Quite a devastating hit.
Hit.
Follow that up.
Direct hit. Enemy
Too
hit.
high, way too high.
Enemy vessel sunk.
Okay, there goes the AI clone I was shooting at earlier. There is an enemy Yamashiro about, and I might have to deal with him soon.
Direct hit.
The secondary is also just not penetrating this counter class. I should shoot his front.
On target. We are hit.
Is it too much to the front? Might be. No, it's actually looking pretty good.
On
Yeah, it was too
target.
far to the front. Too far forward, rather.
Direct hit. Long.
course I missed.
280.
We should actually range it over rather than under,
Enemy
but
cruiser.
okay.
Contact ferry. 280. 5,000
He's
meters.
going down. Swap targets. Where is it, Yamashiro? All the way over there. Two battleships, an Iron Duke and the
Target
Yamashiro.
identified. Battleship.
Contact ferry. 220.
We need to thin the hordes of AIs, but we're not great at doing that.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
He's outside of the cap, so what we're going to do is we're going to
Target
fight the battleships.
identified. Light cruiser.
Contact ferry. 220. 12,000 meters.
It's just we do not have the rate of fire to actually thin out the cruisers,
Ferry. 220.
so instead we should
10,000 meters.
relieve any pressure on our friendly ones by dealing with the enemy battleships.
Contact ferry.
The Yamashiro will be easiest to deal with first.
Engine. 2/3. Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact ferry. 220. 9,000 meters.
Ideally we hit that turret right there, it's just slightly behind center mass. There we go. I hope it isn't too low. Looking alright. And there we go. Massive shell room detonations.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
I don't know. That's part of the of that tinfoil rumor thing. Is yeah, if we do get those ships, it's going to be interesting.
Enemy, they're winning.
Very interesting. Fire.
Damage control.
AI.
Repair parties secure and pump out
Nope,
water.
it is actually it
Heading
is.
as you go. Target identified. Light cruiser.
British cruiser somewhere.
Ferry.
Not being happy with us.
10,000 meters.
This time it's a town class.
Destroyed. On target.
Damage control. Repair parties confined and remove water.
I really should deal with the other battleship. So that's what I'm going to do. 6-inch sap is not going to sink me.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
How do we sink an Iron Duke?
We are hit.
By just shooting it, it seems.
Destroy the target. Target identified. Battleship.
Contact ferry. 220. 9,000 meters.
Be careful I don't cut off my teammate. And I also need to be careful I don't just sail out of the camp.
Damage control. Repair parties
Use
confined
guns to
and remove
that.
water.
Town class, of course.
Full right over.
Seems I don't have much of a choice but to deal with them.
Heading as you go.
We are hit.
Yeah, I thought as much. I think the reason for that is that your shells just don't plunge down into it far enough. So you have a hard time reaching the crew components. So I'm just gonna keep my distance here, I think.
Engines all stop.
Direct hit.
And give
Target
that
identified.
town class a bit of a
Light
beating.
cruiser.
Contact ferry. 300. 7,000 meters. Long.
So the goal now is to hit him in the rear half of the ship, because that's undamaged. That should be decent-ish. Bit far behind actually. Yeah, didn't hit any of the crew compartments in the rear hull. So a quick lesson to note is that if you're playing a cruiser like that, is that you don't pick a fight with a battleship if you can avoid it. There are definitely other targets he could shoot upon his respawn, but nope, he chose to try and spam to death a Texas, which doesn't work.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water.
Back to the battleships.
Target identified.
The Yamashita is being an attractive target again.
9,000 meters.
And seeing as he spawned a backup Yamashita, it's quite possible that that is his only ship. So if we sink him again, we might put him out of action. Let's be careful of our main guns. Wait for them to actually get on target. There we go.
Target identified. Light
Actually,
cruiser.
they're half already.
Contact bearing 220, 9,000 meters.
Target identified.
Okay, good hit.
Battleship.
Fire on one of the
Contact
turrets.
bearing 240, 8,000 meters. Enemy is floundering.
Just try and put this Yamashita down before we switch to the Iron Duke.
We are hit.
There goes a lot of explosions. Further towards the rear, next cell will be against the Iron Duke.
Direct hit.
Not many meaningful damage.
Ready as you go.
Much meaningful damage against
Target
them.
identified. Destroyer.
Contact bearing 300, 6,000 meters.
Seems another cruiser now wants to deal with me.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing 300,
Let's deal with the Iron Duke.
8,000 meters.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing 300, 11,000 meters.
Engine. All stop. Target identified. Battleship.
Let's just shoot at center mass.
240,
Might get an engine hit or not.
8,000 meters.
Target identified. Light
I
cruiser.
think we might just sink it if we manage to hit its engines.
Rudder.
Left hard rudder. Aye, aye. Collision alert.
Quite.
We are
Got a coal bunker though.
Left standard rudder.
left standard rudder. Aye, aye. Enemy hit.
Damage control.
Maybe a bit easier to get to the
Repair
engines.
parts, confine and remove water.
Scotland is also shooting at the Iron Duke. To seemingly little effect.
Target
Next
identified.
salvo will be against the Yamashita again.
Contact bearing
I think we can finish him off.
240, 7,000 meters.
Let's see what the damage is. Not too much.
We are hit.
Squadmate is still shooting the Iron Duke. About 2 notches ahead is what we want. There we go, Yamashita's gonna sink. Now I can put all my focus onto the Iron Duke.
Pull left over.
Left hard rudder. Aye, aye.
I think I want to try and hit the rear turret pair there. So there might be a crew compartment there that's not damaged yet.
We are hit. Enemy
Kill my
destroyed.
squadron mate, sadly. Rear turrets. Where do I shoot? What is that? 2 notches behind. Roughly. And of course now he's going down by crew loss. He should be. And he's slowing down, so my shells are not hitting where I want them to hit. And did no damage. Agoro. Okay.
Engine, all stop. Turn to emergency repair. Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Keep an eye out on my radar, just in case.
Lost. We are hit.
Those are looking decent. Just hit one of the turrets.
Enemy
There we
hit.
go.
If we don't do something fast, the
I
enemy
splashed the
will win.
transmission, didn't I? But he should be going down soon.
Destroy the target.
It is always a bad sign to see a Japanese cruiser looking at you. And there go the torpedoes. You see the smoke puffs? I'm going to wait to see if he launches more torpedoes, and I'm going to start reversing. Actually, no.
Engine, all
Full speed
back.
ahead and turn around.
Over.
Right hard
Because a broadside Japanese cruiser only means one thing, that's torpedoes in the water. So we are going to start moving.
direct hit.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Contact bearer. 220. 9,000 meters.
I thought I just saw more puffs of smoke, some more torpedoes. If worst comes to worst, we'll just lose 1 battleship, we have 2 more.
Lost.
We've got to start turning this boat around.
On target.
We'd actually focus on the ships inside of the cap.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearer. 260. 6,000 meters.
We're winning.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearer. 280. 8,000 meters.
If only these battleships weren't so painfully slow.
Enemy hit.
Until I get myself turned around fully, we are in the danger zone for torpedoes.
Direct hit. Lost. Near miss.
Eddie Yoshibo.
Let's start building some speed
Aye, aye.
and stop the turn.
Sure.
Yoko's going down by crew loss.
Right.
Yo.
Rudder.
Right hard rudder. Aye, aye.
I'll extend the radar range a bit. that county.
Enemy hit.
Go. Didn't really want to finish off that county too much, since he's not shooting at me anymore.
Heavy cruiser.
Contact bearing. 240. 7,000 meters.
Radar's not picking up anything. It has respawned, so there is definitely an aircraft up. Should be on my right over there-ish. If it does come in. There it is, there is an aircraft up. Just outside of 20 kilometers.
On target. Enemy is floundering.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing. 260. 8,000 meters.
Getting closer.
Steady as
15.
goes.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing. 240. 5,000 meters.
He's not getting closer quickly though. So if he still wants to do something this match, I have to be a bit faster than that. Okay, never mind.
Full right.
And there it goes.
over.
Here's what the aircraft actually was. But oh well. A decent match. And definitely decent enough for P earnings. Oh. Oh, lovely. And we're waiting for Texas Unlock 2, and now it's urgent time to get more mobility. I think I should go with the rudder upgrade first. And the turn's a bit sharper. And we keep going. Into an immediate next match, okay. More giant open ocean single cap maps. Gotta love them. I don't think this is going to be a down tier, but we can hope. Oh boy.
Free and clear to navigate.
I don't actually mind this game out too much when playing battleships. It gets a bit annoying though if it's the only map type you actually see.
Carry.
But it's not the worst.
300.
Closing, make condition 1.
Take him down.
Right, standard rudder.
Okay. Ooh, Colorado.
Battleship.
Okay, that is definitely your primary target.
10,000 meters.
Now, can we detonate a Colorado? Front turrets are roughly 1 blip lead. Just gonna wait for the rear turrets to catch up. Quite sure what that guy's plan is. But sure. Okay, it's definitely a 1 blip lead. He shot me first, luckily it was over. Let's see what that does. I just look at the funnel. Speed is looking good. Is the range looking good? No, way too short. Way too short. Not great.
We are hit.
He's coming to a halt. well now. A Hugo on our side, lovely. More 14-inch guns, the merrier. Those are looking decent. Over. Just knocked out one of the 20 mils next to it. This means we're in a full up tier, but nobody on our side has 7.0s. Lovely. Oh, full up tier, there's only 7.0 to go to. Well, technically 34, because I think my squad mate is shooting me as well. Okay, he sped up again. That's the first solid hit. I did next to nothing, because there's no crew compartments there apparently. I have lost... Okay, I've lost my fuel tanks in the middle hole, that's a bit concerning. Although at the same time, great that he isn't going for my turrets. Yet. More than one blip lead, isn't it, that I need to do now? Oh? Still high. Okay. Still way too high. Somebody's damaging his forward turret though. Somebody's damaging his rear turrets as well. Some water, let's see where that one hits. Probably too high again as well. Can't get a proper range on him. No, that's great, that's exactly what I wanted. I need to keep hitting that again.
Engines, 1/3.
Colorado's slowing down again.
Enemy hit.
And high again.
Engines, all stop.
Firing one of his ammo elevators. Will it be lethal? There goes his shower room detonation. That did a lot of crew damage as well. That might actually be the end of him. Nope, he put his fires out. Seems like a prime target to just catch him on fire again. As he's stationary, I'm stationary practically. He's taking a lot of damage, a lot of hull integrity damage as well. There we go.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water. Engines, all back. Damage control.
I think his magazines are actually quite red, so he's very low in the water, so I can't hit his magazines properly anymore. But the Hugo can.
Target identified. Battle
The
cruiser.
Hugo can. So we're fine.
260.
Let's repair that funnel so we can get some more speed up.
Turn to emergency repairs.
And the Colorado left, understandably. But there's one threat less to deal with. What else do we have on the field? Clemson. That's a Mutsu.
We're ahead of the enemy.
Dante, okay, nothing too serious.
Full right over.
Yeah, that Mutsu is definitely a threat, although he's not in the cap.
Mission alert.
So let's just knock on the armor belt of this Dante first. Oh boy. Let's see if he puts out that fire. He doesn't, because it's a Dante, and all the Italians should blow up, battleships blow up like nothing nowadays. So let's turn to this group of battleships on my left here. These AI ones.
Identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 260.
Okay.
6,000 meters.
Hostile Tony on the flank. Which must mean torpedoes. Let's over there, and let's swap over to whatever the Tony is.
Target identified.
There.
Battleship.
Contact
Oh boy,
bearing.
that's a good angle from me as well.
360. 9,000 meters. On target.
I don't actually know if the Littorias would get bad accuracy in game or not. Because apparently that's mainly just something to do with... Is it barrel wear and inconsistent shell manufacturing? Because barrel wear isn't modeled in this game at least. In terms of accuracy. That Tone is turning away.
Keep the pressure on. Victory is
So I
close.
need to increase lead a bit.
Left standard rudder.
That's a good uncheck. It's going to be a problem later. I already know it.
Direct.
There we go. Unless these torpedoes are going to be everywhere, aren't they? There goes a Great Fox, all to, well, predictably.
Right. Hard. Rudder.
Right hard rudder. Aye, aye.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
Will you launch torps from the other side?
Direct hit.
Target identified.
How is that guy still afloat?
Destroyer.
Contact bearing. 340. 5,000 meters.
How am I missing him as well? Come on.
Enemies floundering.
And I need to rotate the turrets again. Okay, fire, but it's fire to the secondaries, that guy's sinking.
And pump out water.
I went over the Tone, not great.
Just keep it up, and victory will be
So yeah, I
ours.
just set me on fire, so good.
Attack the enemy. Pull left over.
The Mutz is still going for our spawn instead of going for the cap. Which, sure. There goes a Litchfield.
We are hit.
Let's turn around and deal with the
Heavy
Mutz
cruiser.
maybe.
Contact bearing.
He's just right there.
7,000 meters. Enemy hit. Right hard rudder. Aye, aye.
Attack the enemy.
Where do I aim to get the rear magazine? That's with Rear magazine is almost 2, not quite. So almost 2, not quite. And let's see where the shell lands. Absolutely poor dispersion.
Miss.
And he's just bullying my squadron member.
Keep it up, and victory will be ours.
Let's wait for full broadside again.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course. Aye, aye. Enemy is floundering. We are hit.
Full
Wait,
right
is it Mutsu only for 120s or is it a Magi? Either way, I think they're not great. And I put it in the squad chat, not in the team chat.
Aye, aye.
Decent hits. Fire in one of the turrets, but that's not gonna knock it out, is it? Okay, there comes the Mutsu salvo.
We're all below the waterline. We are hit.
Somebody attack him.
And down goes the Mutsu. That guy is my next target. I'll actually not unangle, so I'll keep it as angle.
damage control. Repair parts, secure and pump out
Because
water.
he seems to want me dead. I have lost all of my fuel tanks by the looks of it.
Flying below decks detected.
A little more effort.
Let's just the turrets.
Damage control. Repair
He's
parts,
just charging in.
and remove water. Left standard rudder. Target identified. Battleship.
That's very poor time on his fire. Where's the fire? That is an ammo elevator.
Damage control.
Flooding has been
Repair
stopped.
parts, seal the breach. Engine all
Wait 5 more seconds for the fire.
hard. Rudder.
And punch clean through the bow, please. Okay.
Repair parts. Station. Damage control.
We
Repair
didn't
parts,
punch through the bow because those ships have a false bow, so they actually have 2 of them. Forgot about that.
Damage control. Repair parts, confine and remove water. Damage control. Repair parts, seal the breach.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Oh, you're gonna show broadside to me, how kind of you. Where is it? A lot is lot do be happening, yes. That is when the game gets fun. Is when you're on fire, you're flooding, the enemy is shooting repeatedly, you can't quite pen them. And you're just having to juggle everything. That is when it becomes fun.
Damage control. Repair parts, confine and remove water.
On target.
Attack the enemy.
Should be able to
Damage
pen them in this
control.
range. Just
Repair parties,
cannot do it.
seal the breach.
still at half crew. It's the repeated fires are putting
Repair parts, secure and
me
pump
at
out water.
a little bit of discomfort.
We are critically down.
As I can't get the proper time to actually measure the range for stuff. 2. 64-second reload. We'll live with that for now. Fire, that should mean a dead battleship. Because it's Italian. Please. Or is it only the older ones, not the modern ones?
Turn to emergency repairs.
Ah, trats, it's only the older
That's
Italian
standard
battleships
rudder.
blow up, okay.
Standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Not out of the clear yet.
Critically damaged.
We should actually be going forward if we want to try an angle.
Engines, flank speed.
If we're just not fast enough in reverse to actually burn the ship.
Right, hard, rudder.
Move right over. Aye, aye.
Don't have a lot of engine power at the moment either.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
I think I've lost my middle turret completely as
All
well.
hat. We have been critically damaged.
That's great.
Floundering. Enemy hit.
I've definitely lost a middle turret now. Or was it actually the rear turrets? Can't tell. It was actually shooting me from behind.
Target
Yes, it's a tornado
identified.
penning me.
Battle cruiser.
Contact. Barrier. 300. 10,000 meters.
Engines, 2/3.
All hat. We have been critically damaged.
Just keep it up, and victory will be ours.
Fully operational.
Direct hit.
We need to get those battleships at some point. Those Italian ones. They look really fun.
Short. Left hard rudder. Aye, aye. All hat. We have been critically damaged.
Seems he's getting pushed away.
Enemy hit.
He's quite well angled against me though as well now.
All hat. We have been critically
Don't
damaged.
have any engine power. That's a fire in one of the M elevators. Heal that first. Who are you? Of course, it's a Congo.
Engines, flank speed.
There's time to be dealing with Congos now. But I think the Italians are going away. Just horribly angled. I can't deal with both of them.
Target identified. Battleship.
Could angle in steeply against a Congo and just deal with the Italian. If I have the burning radius, that is.
Just a little more effort, and victory will surely be ours.
Which I don't think I
Damage
have.
control. Repair parties confined.
There's a bit of a hard left rudder, barely burning.
Damage
The
control.
Italian is incredibly heavily angled, so that's not going to be
We're holding.
anything meaningful I can do against him.
Steady as you go.
So I'm going to swap over to the Congo.
Critical damage.
Shoot the rear of the Congo. Just keep turning.
Direct hit.
Mostly misses.
Repair route. Critical damage.
Plotting again.
Damage control. Repair parties confined.
a lot of my armor plating on that side is cracked as well.
Damage control. Repair parts.
It's not the best of times.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact Barry! 300! 7,000 meters! Prepare for critical
Let's
damage!
see if we can get some turret pans. Or just miss entirely. See, it's sailing away from me.
Prepare for critical damage!
Pressure on. Victory is close.
Target
Two
identified.
Congos over there. Just a lot of enemy battleships everywhere, really.
9,000 meters!
Full flight over.
Right arm runner! Aye, aye!
Let's try and turn this barge around.
Over.
Enemy hit! Collision alert!
Show some fresh armor to the enemy.
Turn to emergency repair.
See if I can maybe restore some more mobility.
Prepare for critical damage!
We have great be damned at this point. I'm now the most vulnerable against the Congo. He seems to be targeting my squad mate instead. Which is ideal. Torpedoed by a guy in a porter, absolute rock star. Yeah, the next Congo will be our next target.
Damage control. Repair parties confined and remove water.
Prepare for critical damage!
That's a darn shame. Must have been a very long torpedo.
Prepare for critical damage!
Can't repair my engines beyond
Damage control.
range, which is a
Repair
bit of a
parties
shame.
confined and remove
It's
water.
losing me a lot of mobility.
Critical flight! That's water seal breach!
It's a crew compartment right in between these turrets, but I just cannot get to it for some reason. There goes my radar again.
Damage control. Repair parties confined and remove water. Steady as she goes.
Holding course! Aye, aye! Prepare for critical damage!
We are so close to potential victory here.
Damage control. Repair parties.
Hurting an elevator, not great. Holding that I'm actually running low on ammo now that I look at it. That might be a bigger problem.
Prepare for critical damage!
Seeing as it takes 440 rounds, having reduced to 132. More fires. I think this Hardener just took a torpedo on the bow as well.
Damage control.
More
Repair
flooding
parts
going on.
find and remove weapons.
I am on the brink of death.
Repair parts, secure and pump out water. Engines all stop.
I think that Congo is actually flooding out to crew damage. And there's more. And there goes another shell room. I'll take that assist.
Target identified. Battleship.
Still afloat. Still afloat. And with one last turret. Frontmost one got knocked out permanently. 94 shells remaining.
Repair parties stationed.
Get every ounce of firepower of the ship as long as I still can. There we go, another free crew.
Target identified.
At a stage where we actually might want to just focus fire cruisers just to get them out of the match. I will get the tickets to bleed then. That was a long fight in the Texas. Took way more damage than I suspected I could.
We're holed below the waterline!
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact! Barrett! 260!
It's a good target to go for.
Target identified.
A half cruiser.
Battleship.
240. 7,000 meters.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact Barrett. 240. 9,000 meters. Near this. Direct hit!
Like 2 or 3 more kills. Okay, that guy's going
Target
down.
identified. Battleship.
Contact Barrett!
We have another cruiser in range, we do.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Contact Barrett! 240. 8,000 meters.
Right. Standard rudder.
Right standard.
Ah, that was enough.
Aye, aye.
Perfect.
Enemy vessel sunk.
Enemy
Ooh.
retreating. Report to CMC.
Didn't get that much damage done though on my Texas. Still, a result I'm happy with. And some backups. Would have appreciated a free modification more, but oh well. Yeah, compared to what that Mutsuk had done that much, I didn't do that much. But that is just what happens when you have such a slow rate of fire. And off we go again. I even already have primary armament targeting, oh boy. And still the turrets turn so slowly. So yeah, then dry docking, then we'll get new pumps. So this hasn't been that needed. I still pump out water pretty quickly. And then those two. I'll actually do dry docking in just 5-inch AP first. Definitely not going to get Colorado tonight, though. But we should get there. We should get over the 200k mark. And then it's just a bunch more ships to get. Just Colorado. Bunch of German ships I still have to get. Bunch of Russians. Just the Warspite. Japanese. The Italians. And French. So yeah, there's 3 tech trees where I just need one more ship. 3 nations where I just need one more ship. And I have all their ships. Bit of a shame that they're all battleships, so they take an age. Although I think these battleships are probably the hardest to grind with, just because how little their rate of fire is. Yeah, it's just 5 more modifications, but still 90,000 RP. Also, if I keep going at a rate of 9,000 RP a match, just 10 more matches in Texas, shouldn't be that hard, right? How many matches I've actually played in Texas already? Service record. $32. Not the worst. And now we're back in Q Simulator. Truly. A true high-tier squad. Blue water moment. But yeah. There's really not much else to talk about, is there? We're just all waiting for the next update. There's no naval events for till August, so that's not going to be a thing. But I am really, really curious what the next update is going to bring. So I should know better than to try and hype myself up for these big battleships. Domination Norway on the good side of it. Ooh, spicy. Yeah. Although I wouldn't bash it too quickly. Because if the Battle Pass crate for ships would contain the PR-183 of the BM-13 missile launcher on the back, that would be great. Okay, we have a coastal player, fantastic. Let's hope they can actually hold the coastal caps.
Target identified.
Your cruisers. Ooh, Rodney. And that's part of that squad, isn't it? Hold on.
And here she goes.
Yeah, oh boy. Please don't let it be a 2-man Rodney squad. Okay, it doesn't. Thank God.
340, 14,000 meters.
Full flight over.
Arm runner! Aye, aye! Battleship! Wrong time! Barrel! 320, 40,000 meters.
Ocean, make condition 1.
Did
Target identified. Light
he run
cruiser.
into the island?
Contact barrel!
No, he's going through it. He's running through it. Okay.
30,000 meters.
I keep thinking the SGB is a fast boat, but it actually isn't. Let's put some action on the sea points.
30,000 meters.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
We are hit.
We're going to be in for a rough time if we're Rodney.
Target
It is an S-boat. Okay, that should be something our SGB can deal with, surely. Especially a half-dead one.
Right standard rudder.
Please,
Target
SGB, be able to deal with
Battle cruiser.
a half-dead. S-boat.
12,000 meters. On target. On time. Barrel. 320, 12,000 meters.
Fire
Damage
on the
control.
secondary man.
Repair parts secure and pump out water.
Oh god. Okay. So now we have to rush to the capture points at 37 kph. Or I hope our coastal player spawns into another coastal, which he is. What did he arty the
Battle cruiser.
Fox
Contact
or the SGB?
360, 11,000 meters. On target.
Some shatters, lots of overpens.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact barrel. 360, 10,000 meters.
Come on, you can do it. You
Target
can do it.
identified. Boat.
Contact barrel. 020.
Maybe, maybe
6,000
not.
meters.
If the Dark Aggressor can actually kill a 44% crew, come on.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing. 340, 10,000 meters. We are hit.
Don't have a float plane on Texas either, so I can't even try and decap one of those points.
12,000 meters.
There he goes. Finally.
Right standard rudder.
He's gonna decap B at least and recap it. But please don't get jumped by the S-boat player just getting over there and the others goes to spawn.
Near
This
miss.
will make me cry if he just dies again.
Contact bearing. 020. 5,000
Too infested into the coastal fight to actually
Target
properly deal with the battleships.
Battleship.
Contact bearing. 320. 12,000 meters.
Target identified. Battle
We
cruiser.
do have friendly cruisers going over to the
320. 11,000
points
meters.
though, and one of them is a player, so you should be able to reach it.
Light cruiser.
Contact bearing. 340. 9,000 meters. We are hit.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing.
There
340.
we go, B point captured.
10,000 meters.
I'm gonna have a ticket bleed.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Who was the...
340.
Okay.
9,000 meters.
Allied forces have captured a
I
zone.
want to check if he spawned in a battleship.
Contact bearing. 340.
So we're looking for something German.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing. 340. 7,000 meters. Direct hit.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing. 320.
Nothing yet.
10,000 meters.
Which is worrisome.
Target
Nope, there he is.
identified.
Okay. So the coastal area has been won.
320.
Why is he not going to the sea point, Dark
Target
Aggressor?
identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing. 320. 9,000 meters.
Target identified.
Well,
Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing.
shouldn't question it too much.
360. 11,000 meters.
Left
Now he's moving to the sea point.
11,000 meters. On target.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing. 340. 6,000 meters.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
Turn to emergency repair.
Let's get those secondaries back up.
Contact bearing. 340. 7,000
Might
meters.
actually be able to do something with them.
We are hit.
I should have waited an extra second for the repairs, but no, okay.
Fire spotted on the enemy ship.
The enemy is winning. We must counter
Now I need to keep my gunners on all targets, just in case a coastal vessel sneaks up on me. Okay, sinking.
Enemy hit.
And now we've got friendly ticket bleed going.
Enemy hit.
We should be good for the rest of this match, I think. So now I just need to try and get as much damage done as possible.
Battle cruiser. Contact bearing. 340. 6,000 meters.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing. 320. 7,000 meters. Enemy hit.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing. 320. 5,000 meters.
We're controlling most of the zones.
Direct hit. Direct hit.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Engine. All stop.
It's so bad to put a full salvo into it, sure. Should finish off the cruiser.
Target destroyed.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact
I think he's a bit too angled at the range for me to
7,000
pen.
Collision alert.
Target identified.
So let's just deal with the closer AIs, I guess.
Contact bearing. 320. 10,000 meters.
In the meantime, we have a clean line of sight onto the B point in case any other coastal still spawns.
320. 8,000 meters.
Target
Their squad mate has
identified.
joined us.
Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing. 320.
Bit of a
7,000
firing
meters.
line.
Battle cruiser.
Target identified.
On target. Short. Target destroyed.
Okay,
Battleship.
I'm not gonna complain about that.
Contact bearing.
Not detonation.
340. 6,000 meters.
The Rodney still
Target
terrifies me.
identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 320. 10,000
Let's
meters.
try salve against the Arkansas
Target
anyways.
identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 320. 11,000 meters.
Target identified. Battleship.
Rest are still patrolling, so that's perfect.
320. 10,000 meters.
I had him where I wanted to, but yeah, as I thought, I can't really pen him
Target identified.
with that angle.
Battleship.
Contact bearing. 320. 10,000 meters.
Engines. Crank speed. Engines. All stop. Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Still managed to get an assist on the Arkansas. Definitely nice.
Collision alert.
Yeah. Yeah, but pass to developers literally means nothing. We've had, I think, 3 versions of Yamato now passed to devs, some of them for years. We've had American Fast Battleship passed to developers for years.
Enemy hit.
It literally doesn't mean anything to get passed to devs or not in the forums. At least it means nothing as to when or if they get added. I'm actually still not entirely sure what even the point of it is.
On target.
Target identified.
Don't
Battleship.
really like my odds against a Rodney.
320. 10,000 meters. Light cruiser.
I don't know.
Contact.
It's just
340.
stuff gets passed to devs and I don't know what it means. Because it genuinely has no impact on whether or not it gets added or not.
Target identified. Battleship.
Loader cruiser.
320. 12,000 meters.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact. Bearing. 320. 11,000 meters.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
Hold right over.
Right hard rudder. Aye, aye. On target. Enemy hit.
Left standard rudder.
And hello, battle cruisers.
Aye, aye.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing.
I think the worst part about the Indianapolis is that we have the model of it, I think. It was leaked 3 years ago.
5,000 meters.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Genuinely leaked 3 years ago.
Collision alert.
And it's just there. In the files. There's a little island there, isn't there, that isn't rendered lovely.
Hit.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing. 320. 4,000 meters.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing. 320. 4,000 meters.
Keep it up, and victory will be ours.
Another zone
Let's
captured.
see if we can get a lead for the rear turret.
Sure. Enemy hit. Light cruiser.
I don't know either. I don't understand it.
340. 5,000
The thing is, right,
Engine.
what I believe happens is that
Hold left over.
Left hard rudder.
some of those models can be for events later down the line. Some of those models, I think they just make and then decide which one they actually add. Like, I believe it's entirely possible that they actually make more models than they plan to ever add to the game. But just have ready, see whether or not they actually want to add it or not, I don't know. Because in that June leak 3 years ago, we had both Scharnhorsts in the identical fits.
Engine. Hold stop.
Direct hit.
Engine.
Kill.
Tank speed.
Light cruiser. Contact bearing. 320. 8,000 meters. On target.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 340. 7,000 meters. We are hit.
Pictures of it still over there.
Battleship.
Can we get a good shot of him?
320. 9,000 meters. Collision alert.
Or maybe if my turrets actually get on target first.
Right. Hard. Rudder.
Right hard rudder. Aye,
Let's
aye.
wait for a gap in the mountains. Oh yeah, I think that would also be an interesting actual vehicle to add
Direct hit.
for Germany, a rearmed Nice now. But the thing is, the model from that leak 3 years ago was an 11-inch version. Of course, doesn't mean that they don't plan to add it, and in 3 years a lot can happen.
Target identified.
We'll just have to wait and see.
320. 8,000 meters. We are hit. Light cruiser. Contact bearing. 340. 5,000 meters.
always is. And no matter what they add, I'm gonna keep playing this game. Although, I think I'm lucky that I'm not an arcade player, seeing as what they had to go through with that new aiming system. Should be game, I think, before my next salvo. Actually, maybe one last salvo. Maybe hit before the game ends. Nah, not quite. Not that it did much anyways.
Great job, men.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with shorter matches. Let's repeat. I'm gonna pretend I didn't read that sentence sample because that gives me a headache. What? Well, on to the next one. So, I got an invite from Gunship to be part of a talk about EC. There's nothing concrete about it yet, but just I think just him and I didn't know who else having a chat about EC and what their visions are. I think I got an invite to be a part of it, and I will happily be in part of that. Although I might actually have to replay more EC tomorrow to actually form a better opinion of it. Because my views on it might be horribly outdated. Also, that's recent. That guy was the 6-0 Japanese cruiser guy. There's 2-man squad on our side, 3 men on the enemy. Might be a bit dangerous. Low BR AIs, there's usually a good sign.
Engines flank speed.
Okay, we do see a Yamashiro, that will be our prime target. But yeah, that I need thing, it isn't an official talk or anything like that, it's just some guys who play Naval having a bit of a chat, I think. But I really do need to get back into making actual videos. It's just... life's been busier than I thought it would be. That and I think... So, I have actually recorded my voiceover for the update summary video, which is going to be fashionably late as usual. That's 50 minutes. Just raw audio file I have to cut down to size. It's just always a bit of a pain to work on in my free time. I do have to get around to doing it eventually. 2 overpens and 1 shatter. 2 overpens were high in the deck, 1 shatter, don't know. There it was. What's your range? Tell me. There you are. And my squadman just nails the ammunition.
Heavy cruiser.
Cross a barrel. 2-way shield. 10,000 meters.
Somebody attack him!
On the battleship. Ooh,
Target
Russian.
identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 240.
You see target.
40,000 meters. Left standard rudder, aye aye.
Yeah, that Sparviero with 40 mil is indeed still in the files.
Left
But I
standard
think I heard something about that thing never actually being made. Or something like that. That's actually more a paper design than anything else.
rudder. Full left over.
Although I could be wrong about that.
And here she goes.
Holding course, aye aye.
Destroy the target!
Ooh, somebody's picking a fight with me.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Contact bearing. 280. 10,000 meters.
He's turning away, he is.
Target identified. Destroyer.
Contact bearing. 280. 10,000 meters.
I really want to shoot at Eugen, so I think I just will. Okay, turrets are about 2-ish away from center line.
Hit.
Let's see if I can actually hit what I want to hit at that range. Shells are looking decent. And it's travel basically. Bit high. Although I saw some short as well. Just not a great salvo.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Contact bearing. 280. 9,000 meters.
Battleship spawned in. I think a Sparviero with 2 Bopers on that turret would definitely be a high ranking coastal. 'Cause I'm not
Victory is near.
entirely sure if it's
Destroyer.
Contact bearing. 280. 10,000 meters. We are hit.
if it's L70 or L60 Bofors.
On target.
Good hit. A few shells at least.
Take him down!
Right. Standard rudder.
Roger that!
Yeah, we don't need a missile spamming Bravi about. At least our cruisers don't.
We are hit.
And those were just all misses.
Short. Claw.
He's going up to speed again. He is about in. Let's just wait until he gets up to speed.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
And let's do that.
We are hit.
Over. Okay.
Turn to emergency.
We'll just keep going
repair.
closer. I don't see how you already know there's going to be copy-paste planes,
Near miss.
seeing as we have no dev blogs yet, and leak lists, the only ones that we've seen up until now were fake ones. Come on, what is your range? shouldn't focus on the spear anymore. He's already heavily damaged.
7,000 meters.
Pull right over.
Right hard rudder. Aye, aye.
Steady as she goes.
Holding course. Aye, aye.
Left
I
standard
really don't want to
rudder.
waste my time continuously shooting the Bravo because it's just an annoying target to hit.
Identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing. 300. 9,000 meters.
But somebody will have to, I
Target
guess.
identified. Destroyer.
Contact bearing. 280. 8,000 meters.
Take him down!
Direct hit. Enemy
There we go.
floundering.
Should be him going down.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Contact bearing. 300. 7,000 meters.
Engine 2/3.
A little more effort and victory will be ours.
Collision alert. Target destroyed.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 280. 8,000 meters.
Let's see if I can put this North Dakota down. I haven't seen him doing much yet. Front rack is one blip ahead, roughly.
Attacking enemy!
Where's the Russian dreadnought we saw earlier?
Rudder.
Right hard rudder. Aye, aye. Direct hit.
There he is, still long range. Completely whiffed my shot against the North Dakota as well, I believe.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye. Heavy cruiser. Contact bearing. 220. 9,000 meters.
Ocean, make condition 1. Right
And we'll
standard
keep closing
rudder.
the gap
Right
on that
standard
North
rudder.
Dakota.
Aye, aye. Enemy hit.
And get 2 bounces. Okay.
Somebody attack him!
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Short.
I'm overextending a little bit, but there's only 2 enemy battleships, and the only threatening one is the Russian one.
Bravo!
I kinda want to get close just so I can use my guns properly.
Attack the enemy!
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Probably should,
Contact
yeah.
bearing. 200.
Let's hold here.
8,000 meters.
Actually just go slowly forward and turn around. I think the game's pretty much over, isn't it? Already.
On target.
Whiffing shots.
Damage control. Repair parties secure and pump out water.
We are hit.
go this. Okay, there goes a fire. Our vents. Would have been a bit dangerous if it kept burning. At least for him.
Attack the enemy.
Enemy hit!
Trying to think, but
Target!
technically speaking, they do have one same class ship in the factory, and that's the 2 Clemsons. But other than that, how did you bring it up?
Engines 1/3.
2 Omahas. Different fits.
Left.
Slightly different,
hard.
eh?
Rudder.
Hard rudder! Aye, aye!
Destroy the target.
Damage control. Repair parts, secure and pump out water.
Enemy hit!
Cleveland Far are they actually subclasses?
Light cruiser!
I know they're basically the same thing, but I think they're actually different classes of ships.
7,000 meters!
Steady as she goes.
Let's see what else is there. But yeah, you might be right. That they have very, very few same class ships. I think Northampton and Portland are 2 different classes as well. Yeah, they definitely are.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder! Aye, aye! Direct hit!
Attack the enemy.
I think it's mainly because the Americans just had so many classes of battleships. That's why they have so many different ones. Also, they had it's kind of difficult to say they had so many classes, whilst a lot of them are subclasses, really, kind of, or follow the same design doctrine but just slight iterations. Now, there's a reason you can classify all of their battleships into 2 camps, with one being the standards, one being the fast battleships. Of course, there are quite a lot of differences within the standards.
We are hit!
All of the standards have the
Speed.
same, well,
Somebody attack
standard.
him.
Everything is so far away.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact! Bearing! 260! 7,000 meters!
I agree.
Enemy is floundering!
Full left over.
I don't see why the Kirishima being sunk by Washington has anything to do with it. But it was a bit of an old advanced ship. But I'm not complaining about getting more Congos, and I think many Japanese players won't.
All stop.
And the thing you have to remember about Japanese battleships is they had
We are hit!
5 classes, period, when it comes to World War II. They had 4 Congos, 2 Fusos, 2 Ises, 2 Nagatos, and then 2 Yamatos. Yeah, that's it.
Enemy hit!
So if you want, well, there is a Tosas and Nemagis, but I'm excluding them because they were never finished.
We won.
But so if you want to give
For shore lead.
an event battleship to Japan, whilst you already have the 4, well, the 2 Fusas and the 2 Ises as factory ships, there's nothing much really left to give them. Of course, we already had Harana, so giving, you know, a second Congo is a bit weird. But there's genuinely just nothing else to give them that isn't a top-tier ship. Also, giving nations top-tier ships as event ships hasn't stopped them before. Looking at the Strasbourg. Yeah. Technically speaking, Strasbourg isn't a top tier ship because it isn't 7.0. But then again, it is the best battleship in the entire French tree at the moment. And oh boy, more open waters. Gotta see where my squad mate spawns. And just spawn with him. Up north.
Captain has the con. Engines flank speed.
Take him down!
All the way over there. It seems their entire fleet has spawned down there.
Cruiser.
Contact there.
With that being a
Target identified.
barn. Okay.
Battleship.
Contact there. 140.
A rare sight nowadays.
Collision alert.
Left hard rudder.
Left hard rudder. Aye, aye.
It is a bit of a shame that we haven't seen an actual Tech 3 Des Moines yet. That Salem would be a... Oh, it was an Archangelsk. That's already detonated. He just left, didn't he? Yeah, of course. Okay. Fine by me.
Right standard rudder. Target identified.
Because every time I come across a Japanese cruiser, I need to make sure that's the player.
0, 11,000 meters.
Pull right over.
Right hard rudder. Aye, aye.
And here she goes.
Holding course. Aye, aye. Right standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Repair
Okay,
parties
there's
to
one of the
station.
gun barrels for some
Target
reason.
identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing.
Get that back operational very quickly.
12,000 meters.
What happened to our third player? Okay. That's our target. I'm gonna try and find those enemy players. There we go, in a Mutsu.
On target.
They're in a squad. Oh boy. It really doesn't matter. I don't see why people are hammering so much about AI's kill stealing. It doesn't matter. Your rewards are based on damage done anyways. Sure, for tasks I can see it being a bit annoying, but it really doesn't matter.
We are hit.
Okay.
Target
I
identified.
do want to find out where that other squad member is. Okay. Okay, we can deal with a PK.
Floundering.
That is not the worst thing out there. The Mutsu is definitely a lot scarier.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 120. 30,000 meters. Move right over. Aye, aye.
Ready
It's
as
almost
we go.
going to be that they're just out there on the fringes.
Collision alert.
And that is the Mutsu shooting at me.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove
Yep.
water.
We are hit.
Damage control. Repair
Probably focus
parties
my fire on the
shield
Mutsu
free.
then and not the PK
Target
who is shooting
identified.
at AIs.
Battleship.
Contact bearing. 120. 40,000 meters.
Problem is that Mutsu is going to speed juke it and I know it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot forward in the hopes that he changes speed and course. Also, I'll lose all my fuel tanks again.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder! Aye, aye! On target!
Ah, boy, this is going to be a difficult one, isn't it?
Full left over.
Left hard rudder! Aye, aye!
I just can't really deal with a Nagato at this range. So I think I just won't.
We are
I'm
hit!
gonna angle in and ignore it.
Turn to emergency repair.
That's the other guy shooting me as well now.
Ready as you go.
Yes, okay. There go all my other fuel tanks.
Direct hit!
That's the Mutsu.
All hands! We have been critically damaged!
Already down to half crew.
All stop.
On target!
Fire one more salvo into Mogami, then see if there's more better targets out there.
Damage control.
Flood damage as
Repair
well.
parties confine and remove
Let's have a
clutter.
look out here
Target
again.
identified. Battleship.
Contact there!
Let's do the PK anyways, I think.
12,000 meters!
Right. Standard
So-
rudder. Target identified. Battleship.
Contact there! 120, 30,000 meters! All hands! We have been critically damaged! Direct hit!
Target identified. Battleship.
The Mutsu fires so much quicker than I possibly can.
12,000 meters!
It'll be an awkward fight.
All right. Over.
Right hard rudder! Aye, aye!
Steady as she goes.
Holding course!
No, he's still stationary.
All hands! We have been critically damaged!
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing! 120, 30,000 meters!
Target
That's a good
identified.
hit.
Battleship.
A bit of luck that fire will spread to the magazine.
12,000 meters! Target on fire!
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
Some more crew damage, but that's fine. Russian battleship put out of fire, sadly.
All hands! We have been critically damaged!
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing!
It's gonna mark exactly where he is. Okay.
Somebody attack him!
I remember that name. Oh. I know I remember that name, that's not good. That's somebody I had to remove from my squadron. Yeah, there it is.
All hands! We have been critically damaged!
Turn to emergency repair. Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder! Aye, aye! Enemy hit!
Oh, never a good sign when I get 3 non-pens on the upper belt. Never a good sign.
Lost!
Would have known that ships with somewhat light armor for their BR, when you give everything a pen nerf, especially at range, suddenly work very well armor-wise.
Damage control. Repair parties secure and pump out water.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
Repair parties to station. Left, hard, rudder.
Left hard rudder. Aye, aye. Enemies floundering.
Yeah, non-pens all round.
We have a critical damage.
And those are 16-inch guns, so they're always going to pen.
All hands. We have a critical damage.
Damage control. Repair
Fire
parties
on
secure and pump
secondaries,
out water.
fine.
Battle cruiser. Alongside. Barrel. 160. 9,000 meters.
Motion, make condition 1. Target identified. Battleship.
Over-targeting me at the moment. Just
120.
more,
11,000 meters.
to say the least.
We're almost along the waterline. All hands. We have a critical damage.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water. Damage control. Repair parties seal the breach.
And again, the awkward gun angles are going to be the end of me,
Right hard rudder. Aye,
because I just cannot get my firepower to bear properly.
aye. On target. Holding course. Aye, aye. We're home below the waterline. Direct hit.
At this point, it's definitely just stop repairing, take as much damage as I possibly can,
Critical damage.
and
Engines all stop.
Law.
yeah, move on really.
Target identified. Light
It's
cruiser.
not even really worth it shooting at the battleships.
120. 5,000 meters.
Center a bit. Keep bleed going. Oh well, take a bleed going.
Enemy hit. We're home below the waterline.
It's the turret. It's fine. Lose ammunition though. Which at this point I rather would have, because I think at least I wouldn't need to bother repairing it. Which I'm going to do anyways.
Enemy is floundering. We're home below the waterline.
And another assist.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact. Barrel. 120. 11,000 meters. Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water.
Critical cutting. Status 1 seal breach.
Damage control. Repair parties seal the breach. Damage control. Repair parties secure and pump out water.
We're home below the waterline.
Engines all stop. Target identified. Battleship.
Contact.
Oh shoot, now I'll have a 60-second reload, so let's hold fire for a few seconds more.
Critical damage. We're home below the waterline.
Still tanking all the shells at least. Luckily the PK player doesn't seem to be too keen on speed juking. I'm not even gonna bother shooting at it because I just cannot penetrate it.
Engines, flank speed.
Battleship. Contact. Bearing. 060. 10,000 meters. Line far better. Aye, aye. We're hull below the waterline.
Steady as you go.
Holding course. Aye, aye. Bearing. Critical damage.
What's up in front? AI.
Left standard rudder.
Can't be anything else.
Standard rudder. Aye, aye.
But I really wish I could just spend more time shooting at AIs instead of these two
Engine
long-range
all
battleships.
stop. Damage control.
Flooding.
Repair parties confine and remove water.
Repair crews to critical damage.
Damage control. Repair parties seal the breach. Engines
Fire.
fall back.
Repair
And
crews
this
to
one
critical damage.
secondary on the other side of the ship.
Enemy hit. Long.
Well, neither of them have done too much damage this match either. Guess we're both of them focusing on me.
Short. Repair crews to critical damage. Bridget. Repair party restore help control. Battle cruiser. On time.
I actually think due to lots of hull integrity rather than anything else. At the rate at least that they're damaging my hull.
Near miss. Repair crews to critical damage.
Finally got my ammo. And let's see what we can do with the Arizona.
Engines flank speed. Target identified. Battle
Should deal with a
cruiser.
few of these AIs first.
Barry.
I hope that the enemy doesn't spot me too soon.
Enemy hit. Direct hit.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Then Mogami seems to be missing a few turrets. But let's not question it too much.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact Barry. 100. 40,000 meters. On target.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact Barry. 100. 4,000 meters. On target.
Right standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye,
Okay,
aye.
assist.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact Barry. 100. 11,000 meters.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact Barry. 100. 10,000 meters.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact Barry. 100. 12,000 meters.
Seems below the rear superstructure might be a good place to hit.
Our
Is
victory
Russian
is near.
dreadnought. It's PK.
Direct hit.
Over, okay.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 100. 12,000 meters.
Target
There
identified.
he is.
Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing.
Angle.
12,000 meters.
Target identified. Battleship.
So, the way I usually deal with people who will speed juke
Our brother.
is by just shooting center mass over and over again.
Light cruiser. Ahead. 10,000 meters.
Ocean
Because there's only so much they can move their ship. Speed juking. Well, that seems all miss because he's accelerating backwards. And the most annoying type of battleship to try and fight.
Right standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Especially in something called long reload.
Target identified.
So what you should do, instead of wasting your salvos, is try and find AIs to just melt.
10,000 meters.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Actually win this match, I guess.
Bearing. 100.
I actually
10,000
have planes, do have planes in this lineup. But I've not earned anywhere near enough points to actually spawn them.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 100. 9,000 meters.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 100. 12,000
So
meters.
annoying.
Victory is close.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing. 120. 11,000 meters.
I was going to hit.
Identified.
They are,
Battleship.
Contact
if they weren't all over. Oh, darn it.
Enemy hit.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Hello there.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 120. 8,000 meters.
I think I should probably just stay angled and not get too close.
Aye, aye.
Engines 1/3.
It's vaguely. I'm probably not going to play Colorado all that much once I get it because that means I've completed the American tree. I'll just move on to spading some other trees. Well, unlocking other trees.
Engines blank speed.
We are hit.
Should? I don't know. I wouldn't know if they should be added. But I have a video on the topic that's a few years old by now, but there is one. I definitely think there'd be cool ships to see,
Emergency repair.
especially for custom battle potential and the like. But if they should be added, probably not. So you can play this game with speed juking. Although the Arizona is probably a lot worse at it because it is very slow. speed.
Damage control.
Fire
Repair
the ammo
parts
elevator,
secure
not
and
great.
pump out water.
Short.
Repair parties to station.
There's one thing you cannot angle is a barbette, sadly. And he's also not going to repair his engines, because he's not that stupid.
We're ahead of the enemy.
Depends on the light cruiser. Although many 5-3 light cruisers aren't great, so you probably don't want to be too aggressive in them. You want to stay in cover, try and fight destroyers still if possible. Because just a lot of 5-3 cruisers are not
Standard
great.
rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Repair his engines. And I shot high.
We are hit. We're home below the
The
water.
armor is holding.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water. Damage control. Repair parties shield free. Full over.
Left hard rudder. Aye, aye.
I'm starting to lose some of it. I think that's actually my fuel tanks, isn't it? So it's fine. Okay, these turrets are nowhere near each other.
Fire spotted on the enemy ship.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye.
I'll just trust that my squad mate can do some AI kills. Also, I'll keep these Mutsu busy.
2-3.
Very much, just wasting each other's time.
Heading is low.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You cannot angle a barbette.
Repair parties secure and pump out water.
Just keep it up, and victory will be ours.
And there goes the shell room, almost detonating the magazine.
All hands. That is critical damage.
Times knocked out both rear turrets. Because the secondary guns do not do anything in this battle rating, and I do not know why you have to keep saying this.
Full right over.
But it's just, they don't do any meaningful damage. I have them under manual control to shoot at cruisers, but they don't do anything against battleships.
Repair parties shield free.
And he now seems to be interested in a crossfire. There goes my front shell room, so front turret is permanently knocked out.
Secure and pump out
So
water.
again, you cannot angle barbettes.
Enemy hit. All hands. That is critical damage.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearer.
Stop turrets, and I have actually just lost all of them, so I do need to repair them.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearer. 140. 11,000 meters.
Seems they do have shells in them, but I doubt that's actually true.
Right. Standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 100. 10,000 meters. All hands. That is critical damage.
Damage
Okay, those two turrets
control.
are actually
Repair
reloading.
parties confine and
Interestingly
remove
enough.
water.
Whether or not they're actually speaking the truth is another matter.
Hard. Rudder.
Left hard rudder. Aye,
Steady as you go.
We can just tank some more damage.
Damage control. Repair parties shield free.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory.
Should go low on those.
aye. Sure.
Engines flank speed.
You know what? Let's just focus on AIs. gonna sink those 2 battleships. Not gonna hit this Mogami apparently either at 5 kilometers. Yeah, they're trying to crossfire on me. And they are succeeding, which is worrisome.
Damage control.
And there goes the showdown again.
And pump out water.
Direct hit!
And this time for good.
Enemy hit! Direct hit!
Damage control. Repair parties.
So 1 more ship after this, and we are winning quite handily.
That is part of Seal 3!
Standard rudder.
Rudder, aye aye!
That's the barrels on the frontmost gun, but that's fine because that turret is knocked out anyways. I lost one on the rear gun too. Here's some firing.
Critical damage!
Let's just actually finish him off. And we can hit him. Apparently the 5-inch guns on this thing can't even knock out 25mm turrets.
Enemy
Good to know.
vessel sunk! On! Mark! Right standard rudder! Aye aye! Repair crews to critical damage!
Right standard rudder.
Stationary again.
Damage control. Repair parties. Mark and remove rudder.
On target! Repair crews to critical damage!
Still afloat. A bit of... actually might sink before the match ends. That's fine.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder! Aye aye! Short! Direct hit!
And there we go.
We won. Time for
An
slaughter.
absolute annoying match, getting focused by the enemy squad. Well, that was to be expected if it's only a 2v2. We're getting focused fire by a Mutsu that kept juking back and forth was quite something to shoot. Well, I think I've got a match or 2 more in me. Not sure if my squad mate does. Not as much. Anyways, thanks for the matches, Phoenix. And I want to brave the matchmaker alone. And hopefully not get an open ocean capture map again. Although, for battleships they're actually alright because you can earn quite a lot of RP from them since they go that long. We have crossed the 200,000 mark at least. But that still means we've got a fair way to go to get Colorado. And there we go, on to the next match. Conquest Jungle. We spawn down south because that's closest to our air spawn and furthest away from theirs. And we see what happens. 3-man match. Oh boy, okay. I'm not gonna be in for a good time, that's for sure.
Battle stations, set condition 1.
Especially.
Engines crank speed.
Okay. So the rest of my team has decided not to spawn battleships in a 6-7 match. Whilst HK Reporter, an incredibly competent naval player, is on the enemy team.
Identified.
Lovely.
260. 14,000 meters.
Incredibly lovely. What's even the point of taking a super stony?
Target identified. Light cruiser.
260.
I'm just looking around for HK Report because he hasn't spawned in yet.
Target identified.
But I do not have much hope if both my teammates are not even in spawned in vehicles within this BR bracket. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time, as they say.
260. 30,000 meters.
Right arm. Rudder.
Right arm rudder. Aye, aye.
Heady is stowed.
Holding course. Aye, aye. We are hit.
The reporter is still not on the field. There he is.
Target identified.
Last time I ran into him was in a...
260.
Okay, that is just a guy.
12,000 meters.
I want to say the last time I ran into HK Reporter was in a Rodney.
260. 30,000 meters.
Yeah,
Target identified. Heavy
yeah, that's not
cruiser.
gonna be great for me.
Contact bearing.
It's a Colorado he's in this time.
30,000 meters.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing. 260. 30,000 meters.
Target identified. Light cruiser. Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 260. 12,000 meters.
Damage control. Repair parts. Secure and pump out water.
We are hit.
At least I managed to get a one-shot on that Russian cruiser I shot at.
Left standard rudder.
It's something this match.
Rudder. Aye, aye.
That is way too much lead for a cruiser already turning in as well.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing. 260. 11,000 meters.
We're ahead of the enemy.
Right hard rudder.
Right arm rudder. Aye, aye.
Target
I'll shoot the
identified.
Russian cruiser a bit easier target.
260. 12,000 meters.
Bigger compared to a Roanoke. transporter is not looking my way, that's good to know.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Completely missed the Russian cruiser. Because I'm horrible at these kind of ranges.
Ready as you go. Right standard rudder. Damage control. Repair parties confined and remove water.
Let's see if we can remove another cruiser. Bit low. AIs dodging shots nowadays.
Enemies floundering. Target identified. Battleship.
Will he make it to actually torpedo the battleship?
Just a little more effort, and victory will surely be ours.
Unexpected outcome.
Light cruiser.
It does, but it doesn't have an aircraft for it.
Engines 2/3.
There is no aircraft modification in Texas. It might be the same case as with some Japanese ships where just the amount of anti-air being added remove the aircraft or aircraft support facilities. I don't know. Not that it'd be
All stop.
too useful in this situation. A second spawn destroyer, 7 a match. Why? You know what? I'm going to actually also. Will I get a reply? Probably not, because these are the Russian servers by the looks of it, but oh well. And there goes the PR-206, murdered by Sverdlov, as expected. At least he spawned in a Slinger Max, so that's acceptable. Not optimal, but acceptable.
Engines flank speed.
Just keep it up, and victory will be ours.
Left hard. Rudder. Enemy hit. Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Contact! Barrett! 220! 9,000 meters! We are hit!
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
I never like shooting at broadside cruisers because my shells just go through them. That one did decent damage.
Target. Ready as you go. Damage control. Repair parts confined and remove water. Target identified. Light cruiser.
They're not actually in the capture point, so there shouldn't be my priority.
Right standard rudder.
I have an enemy Arizona over there, but I am more than fine to steal them AIs at the moment.
Battleship.
240! 9,000 meters!
battleship.
Contact bearing 240, 8,000 meters.
Damage control. Repair parts, confine and remove water. That's standard rudder.
Left standard rudder, aye aye. On target.
Engines two-thirds.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
All these airships just circling around is kind of uncomfortable. I prefer the walk when they actually just went straight at you. Because then at least you just goes clean through most cruisers. And it actually move around you.
Damage
I'm a bit
control.
trickier picking them apart.
Repair parts, confine and remove water.
It is just cracking me again. Please do not spawn into a third destroyer. Please learn your lesson. Sverdlov. Sverdlov, okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. No battleships in sight. Just destroyers and cruisers.
Turn to emergency repairs.
Enemy is floundering.
Engines all stop.
I'm not gonna fire another salvo at them because I think that I
Engines
should just
flank
split out.
speed.
Assist is fine.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
What is continuously shooting from the front? You, isn't it?
8,000 meters.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing 280, 12,000 meters.
Full plate over.
Right over, aye aye.
A little more effort and victory will be ours.
The rear turret is nowhere near the targets. So wait.
Ready as they go.
Holding course, aye aye.
Left standard rudder.
If only taking damage actually rewarded you nowadays for taking hits, like it did originally, I'd be getting a lot of RP out of this match. It's still the case.
Engines all stop. Right clear. Engines one-third. Full left over.
Full left over, aye aye.
Target identified. Carrier.
Contact bearing 260.
Let's just keep shooting this Cleveland until it sinks.
We are hit.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Correct hit. Enemy hit.
One more solid hit to get down. Should be a bit more midships now. Any secondaries to actually try and finish him off. Something that will have to do. Which of course miss.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing 260, 8,000 meters. Enemy destroyed.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
I really don't fight with Arizona, so I just won't.
8,000 meters.
Target identified. Battleship.
Instead, there's more than enough AI cruisers.
8,000 meters. Battle cruiser. Contact bearing 220, 8,000 meters. We are dead.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Contact bearing 200, 8,000 meters. Enemy hit. Direct hit.
Damage control. Repair parts, confine and remove water. Right, hard, rudder. Target identified. Battleship.
We are at least winning on...
240, 8,000 meters.
Yeah, it's suspicious.
Steady as she goes.
Keep it up and victory will be ours.
Damage control. Repair parties. Seal
I
the
think
breach.
it does the boat call out for enemy coastals, doesn't it? Yeah, it doesn't really do that, just PR. Since there's not that many boats around.
On the enemy ship.
But this, at this point of the match, no damage done whatsoever is highly suspicious, and actually, they're not on all targets. Because there might be a coastal vessel sneaking about.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Let's actually have a bit of a look around, see if we can find it.
8,000 meters.
Speaking of the devil,
Identified. Heavy cruiser.
Contact bearing
he's sailing away, isn't he? Oh, that's great.
8,000 meters.
Target identified. Oh,
Contact bearing 280, 4,000
A torpedo boat like that sailing away means he's already launched his torpedoes.
engines, flank speed.
Enemy vessel sunk.
Damage control. Repair parts.
Does he expect to be fired upon is going to be the question. There he goes, torpedo the Dakota. Please hit, please hit, please hit. Oh, he slowed down for him.
Steady as she goes.
And there we go.
Destroyed. Direct hit.
Out of here with your coastal vessel.
Left, hard, rudder.
Left hard rudder. Aye, aye.
Engines 2/3.
So let's hit the caps, let's shoot him.
Victory is close.
Enemy hit. Enemy hit.
A bit of luck, that'll be enough to actually detonate them. There we go, shalom detonation.
Engines 9 speed.
perfectly straddled him that target and lost a lot of guns. Is it the German coastal that went back for revenge, or what just hit me?
Target identified. Light cruiser.
There you are. But you're not shooting me. Yeah, what is shooting me?
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
AI is okay.
Contact bearing! 240, 9,000 meters!
Damage control. Repair parties secure and pump out water.
Keep it up. The victor will be ours.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing!
I'm
220!
tempted to try and sink the Charn Horse because I know it still suffers from the fires in the Barbets
Battle cruiser.
quite badly.
Bearing! 240, 9,000 meters!
Engines all
Let's
stop.
try and hit that super firing turret. It's stationary, I'm stationary. We can do this. If I didn't keep losing my turrets.
Damage control. Repair parties secure and pump out water. Target identified.
Oh, it is HK reporter shooting now. Okay, that makes sense.
300, 6,000 meters!
Too much
Damage
sense.
control. Repair parties confine and remove water.
Full left over! Aye, aye!
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Contact bearing! 240, 9,000 meters!
Damage control. Repair parties seal the breach. Repair parties station.
We are hit!
I'm absolutely in a horrible position to try and sink him.
Target identified.
That guy's still afloat is a miracle.
Contact bearing! 240, 4,000 meters!
Let's try and get our broadside aligned against him.
Ready to
Two non-pens. Great to see, great to see. Okay, never mind.
Damage control. Repair parties confine and remove water.
And straight up around, of course.
Heavy cruiser! Ahead! 2,000 meters!
Well, hello there, AI Mogami.
Position one.
Well, Tony, rather.
Target identified.
That was a
Battle
rather
cruiser.
embarrassing misidentification.
240, 5,000 meters!
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder, aye aye! Enemies flounder!
I don't know what to think about all of these AIs just going around the cap instead of inside of it. That is just... yeah, not ideal.
Oh. Direct hit!
Suboptimal indeed. I also don't like how we went from getting a comfortable lead in the cap to having 7 enemies more in the cap than we do. Are friendly, so that's not great. All of it is not
Target
great.
identified. Light cruiser.
Contact bearing! 5,000 meters! Enemies flounder! Direct hit!
Saxon player completely oblivious to the Megami right in front of him, I think.
Enemy vessel sunk!
Arizona is now behind us. So it might be time to actually deal with him.
standard rudder.
Left standard rudder, aye aye.
On target.
3 overpens because I just missed his barbette.
Enemy hit.
And some overpens and ricochets, because of course. Of course, the first time I actually see this guy execute a turn and turn bow in is when I want to shoot him. I think this is going to be game over,
Right,
and
over.
sadly a defeat.
Hard rudder, aye aye.
Target identified. Battleship.
Contact bearing. 180. 8,000 meters.
I just do not have the rate of fire to actually clear out this capture point.
Collision alert.
Nor do I really have the fire support from my teammates.
On target. Enemy destroyed.
Great. Helps me a lot.
260. 11,000.
Could still do it. Like 3 more kills.
All stop.
Speaking of, are there cruisers in my area? Nope, there is still that Arizona behind us.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder, aye aye.
Let's see if we can maybe finish off the Arizona behind us.
Hard rudder.
Left hard rudder, aye aye.
Engines 2/3.
Direct hit.
Sean horse burned down. Yeah, 1 more kill might do it. And the Arizona is definitely the lowest health of all our targets. Quite spread on my shells, but there we go, and it is game victory.
On the enemy ship.
Engagement over.
Ooh.
Great job, men. Best
That's
mate.
great. Some extra awards for winning, obviously. And that is a hefty chunk of RP. And now every upgrade I get for Texas, I will get some spading bonuses. But I think I'm going to leave it at that for tonight. As I can only get, you know, so much entertainment out of playing the open ocean maps for 3 hours straight. So yeah, American 6-7 battleships. Not as bad as people say they are. The reload is definitely a big negative. Leaves you. It doesn't allow you to really carry a match as much as you could with faster firing ships. But otherwise, fine battleships, and I'm well on the way in completing this tree. But yeah, next week, most likely Deathblock season, so there'll be lots to talk about probably. And I'm probably going to work on a coastal tree, either my Russians or my Germans. I'll have to find out. I think I'll actually find doing the Russians more bearable. So next week is most likely Russian coastal. So yeah, I'll see you all next week. Thank you for watching as usual. Yeah, see you next week.